Also, the House Republicans' majority is about to get even slimmer. Colorado GOP Congressman Ken Buck announcing he is retiring next week, moving up his departure date after saying he'd leave at the end of his term. Well, he's now expedited that. The move catching party leaders totally off guard. The Hill reporting, quote, Buck's statement sent shockwaves throughout the Capitol, including for Speaker Mike Johnson, who said he was surprised by the news and hadn't been informed prior to that announcement. Joining us now is one of the authors of that piece, congressional reporter for The Hill, Mychael Schnell. Mychael, it's always good to see you. At last check this morning, right before we went live, your piece is still the most read piece on The Hill, which, one, I know feels good, but two, tells you something, right? I mean, people are interested in this. Why is he retiring so early?
Yeah, this is big news, Markie. I'll tell you for a few reasons. Because so much focus over the last year has been on the chaos in the House Republican conference, right? We saw that elongated speaker's race early last year. We saw that motion to vacate in the middle of the year, and then that second saga over replacing Kevin McCarthy and installing a new speaker. There's been a lot of focus on this chaos in the Republican conference. Ken Buck leaving at the end of next week just adds to that because it's going to further slim the GOP's majority in the chamber, and it's going to make it harder for them to send messaging legislation. Now, the second thing is that Ken Buck himself has been a key focus this Congress. He's taken a number of controversial votes that have put him against his Republican colleagues, against the grain of the Republican Party, including his vote in October to oust Kevin McCarthy, including his vote just recently against the effort to impeach DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Ken Buck is saying that he is just fed up with the partisanship and the bitter politics that has engulfed Washington. He says that it doesn't get anything done anymore, and he just doesn't want to be part of it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, pun intended here. He has been one of the ones to buck the trends, of his colleagues. He's been, vocal of former President Trump, those in his party who questioned the 2020 election, to your point. The other thing I found interesting is now the Wall Street Journal's editor-in-large, Gerald Baker, says more House Republicans could decide to leave. And then you could possibly have Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries become Speaker. And, he released a statement saying, like, anytime between now and January 3rd could be possible. Mychael, how realistic is that scenario?
Not very realistic, Markie, but look, the fact that we're even having this conversation because you're in striking distance of that situation is stunning, right? As things stand right now, House Republicans can afford to lose 2 votes, 2 of their own members on any party line measure to still get it over the finish line, which is a razor thin edge, right? 2 members is not a lot when you talk about the diverse makeup right now, politically speaking, of the Republican conference. It would take more members to drop out, to leave Congress, to give Hakeem Jeffries that power and put Democrats in the majority. Again, something that is highly unlikely, especially with more special elections happening over the remaining part of the year to put some of those special elections in some Republican strongholds to replace some of the other members who have left early. But again, it gets back to my initial point, the fact that we're even having this conversation because Republicans are so close to losing their majority. I mean, it has been a stunning year that it's just gotten more and more difficult for these GOP lawmakers. Yeah,
2024 is wacky, and it's only March. And I think a lot of, lawmakers, also Americans, saying Congress is already in gridlock. Where are things going from here? Mychael Schnell, thank you so much as always. It's good to see you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.